Hello out there in Streamland. My name is Sven. I am doing a little bit more of the solo skirmish, the Cult of Malgoraz. I am the GM, Game Master. I am the player. I am the Dungeon Master. I am the second player. And I'm your special friend. But you knew that already. Let's get into the action, shall we? Solo skirmish is a game that's made for one player. You can also have two players. Uh, you can also play with, it's written as playing with two characters, and you can have four characters as well if you want to bump it up for a little bit something different. It is the author of this is Paul Bimler. He can be found on the DM's Guild, and it was converted for Fantasy Grounds by Mark Gaffney, known as Marmus, and Rob Toohey. So I am playing a couple different characters. I'm looking to see if my stream is working. And let's see here. Here we go. Do I have sound? Testing, testing, 1, 2. We do. Woohoo! Awesome. All right, so we're already doing better than we did yesterday. But I've got a couple players, a couple characters, I mean, and we're doing Torador, who is a slinger. He is a halfling ranger slinger. When he gets up to third level, we're going to be diving into the All About the Sling book that was converted by me and Rob Toohey. Also available on DM's Guild. He's got some really cool stuff, but he typically uses a sling. I also have a Hippodon, which is a hippopotamus man from the uh, awesome book called Whimsical Creatures, written by Robin Nix, also on DM's Guild. Check all that stuff out. Go ahead, go to dmsguild.com and look up those things. I'll wait. Welcome back. If you haven't seen the first one, there's Svenzone Solo 1. Svenzone Solo 1, check it out. Um, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be doing this until we're done or until the world ends, whichever one comes first. So the way this works is there are a series of quests, and I am in the middle of the first one. Actually, I'm pretty close to the end. Each quest represents a level, so my characters will level up when we're done with this quest. Each quest is divided into 3 locations, and during each location, I do certain things. So right now, I'm in the middle of the first one called the Devilish Dilemma. And so every location you go into, there's 4 phases: a location phase where the characters roll twice for each character. There's an encounter phase where you may or may not fight. There's a hero phase where you can do a bunch of different things all from these lists. There's a threat phase, and you're like, man, this is just crazy stuff. How in the world are you keeping track of all this stuff? Well, when he converted this, Marmons did a tremendous job, and it makes it really easy because I'm using Fantasy Grounds. You can't get the PDF version of this and be flipping back and forth through all these tables. It's still fun, but Fantasy Grounds makes it so much easier. You can also play this on Fantasy Grounds Classic, but the story so far in the Devilish Dilemma is that my 2 characters were chilling in the city of Sycomber when these monks came up to him and they were like, dude, we were reading these forbidden texts, always a good idea, and we think that because of we were reading these things, there's this huge infestation that took over this ruined temple. So we need you to go fix it before the head priest comes back and finds it. So I have a feeling there's something worse happening, but hey, we're going to go do it. And we check it out. So we started off on the outskirts of the town. We fought some cultists. We traveled through the forest. evaded some traps, got caught by some traps, and then moved on. Then we got to a ruined temple, and this ruined temple had this acolyte. We kicked her butt as well. We had this monk named Davern who was our guide, whined a whole lot. He was really annoying. Happy to get rid of him, even though he didn't even tell us where the entrance to the ruined temple was. So we searched around. After destroying this acolyte, we found the entrance to the catacombs. And that, my friends, is where we left off. So, location 3, the catacombs, is where we are now. So, you follow the link in Fantasy Grounds, and here we are. It says, all I have to do, remember all those steps I talked to you about? All I have to do is click the generate button. So, are we ready? Generate. Bam. You get this thing, and it says, taking Acolyte Davern as a guide. Is he back already? Jeez Louise. Uh, what? This is from the first location. So we're gonna let's see. Interesting. All right. So we're at the catacombs, and it's here we have our map. Boom. First thing you do is read the map. It says the stench of ancient death is everywhere. Kelmvor is eager to welcome you into his dark embrace. Healing spells and potions are less effective here. You deduct 1d4 from any healing spell or potion used. Pillars and sarcophagi grant half cover. Well, guess what? The trick's on you because I don't have any healing spells, nor do I have any potions, so that doesn't affect me at all. The stench of ancient death is everywhere. That's all right. I'm traveling with a hippo man, so I'm pretty much used to the stench of death being around me, regardless. All right, so give me just a second, folks. I'll be right back. All right, so we're here at the top of the catacombs. I'll throw my peeps here. So unlike the other two maps, there's only one place to start. So we're going to go ahead and put ourselves here. Minimize it. All right, so the first event we come to, again, we're going to go in order, Torador and Fionn. Probably for the second quest, we'll switch, but for now, we're just sticking with the ones we've been doing all along. It's a trapped treasure. If you wish to make a dexterity 16 saving throw, what do you mean if you wish to? Okay. Yeah, I'm not just going to take the damage. So, Torador, again, he's decent with the dex saves, so fingers crossed. There you go. 22, folks. Bam. So the trapped treasure. On a success, you gain 1d10 times 10 and roll once on the useful items chart. So this particular case, because there was no guarantee, it didn't roll for me like it did last time. So, bam. We get 1. Boo. Oh, wait a minute. No, here it is. So the result is it was 90 gold. So, awesome. We go here to the party sheet. Go with inventory. And we put in 90 gold. And then the useful items table gives us, we'll see just how useful it is, a potion of healing. Yay! So hopefully, fingers crossed, we won't need this because in here, potions of healing are only half as useful. So we'll see how that works. But you notice everything is ready for me. All I did is just roll on the tables. Bing and bang and boom. I've got the stuff. Fancy ground is great. All right, so second one, riddles in the dark. Suddenly, all around you, this again, we're talking about Fion here, all around you falls dark, and not that type of like dwarven or elven eyes can even see through. Answer me these 3 questions, good traveler. A disembodied voice booms all around you. If you succeed, you shall be blessed with good fortune. But if you should fail, the kiss of Kalimvar will be upon you. That's a little weird, a little awkward. You must answer 3 riddles. Who knows what will happen if you err in your answers? Make it just DC 15 intelligence check. Okay, well, he's a hippo man. He's a paladin. 11 isn't really so. Intelligence isn't really his strong suit. So 13. He came pretty close. If he's successful, you gain an inspiration. He was not successful. Every member of the party has disadvantage on death saves until the end of this quest. Well, that's awesome sauce. So what happens is when you go all the way down to 0 hit points, you are not quite dead. You're just mostly dead, unconscious to be exact. And so in this particular case, because, dang it, we have disadvantage, we get to roll twice and hope we get above a 10 on the worst roll. So it's usually a 50% chance to survive. Now we have to roll twice and pick the worst roll. But that's all right, because we're tough MFers, which means we're not even going to fall to our death. We're not going to collapse. Nothing's going to happen to us because we're heroes and we're awesome. And look at this, we got a boon. Is it a big boon? Because I like big boons, I cannot lie. You are imbued with courage and strength from some unknown, benevolent source. For the rest of this quest, you have 10 temporary hit points. Bing, bang, boom. 10 hit points. That is awesome. I likes it. I likes it a lot. And now, Fion the Hippo Man also gets a boon. His boon is a blessing of Torm. Torm is a deity. He's the deity of courage and self-sacrifice, and he is impressed at my courageous deeds. So he's impressed that we beat the crap out of some cultists and destroyed an acolyte. But hey, Torm's bar is not very high. But I'm not going to look a gift boon in the mouth, you know what I'm saying? While at this location, you have advantage on saving throws against being frightened. Boink, boink, boink. And the funny thing is, Torador already has that. So that is cool. So we will add it to Fion advantage versus frightened. The downside of this is that this probably wouldn't be in the adventure if we're not going to be frightened at some point along the way. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. All right, so now for the encounter phase. 2 mains with no rewards. This is not looking good. We need quest points, folks. All right, so we open up the mains. We go to our assets and see if we have a main token. We do. So a main is some sort of fiend. Come on. There we go. So we had this really gross and disgusting thing, or we just had this little silly putty blob man. So we're going to take the silly putty blob man. We open this up. Boom. Silly putty blob man. Bam. So there we go. Got our two mains. Now, it doesn't say, it just says find the battle map for the current location and spawn the required enemies. I have a guess that we're not going to make the quest points. So what do we need to get past this? This says, it does not say anything about leaving this location. So who knows what we need to get this. But we do have our map. We shrunk it down before we minimized it, but then we lost it. So we're going to bring it back up. So we'll take a look at the map. We'll start over here. We'll throw the mains down here. In the main room. Get it? Get it? The main room. Huh? All right. So mains. Boom. This there is, looks to be 7 squares, 7 by 35. 7 by 5 is 35. So we go click, we go DIE, roll 1D35. And actually, I'm going to have it do 2D35, so that way I don't have to roll again. What happened? Did I mess it up? I guess I messed it up. DIE space. Okay. So 20 and 33. So if they're 7 across, this is 21, so this is 20. Boom. And then 33 is 2 shy of 35. Boom. And then we just roll the 4-sider. We get a 1 and a 2. So that's where they are. We bring our peeps in. Yoink. Yoink. All right, so he can see from here 10, 20, 30, 35. Do our people even have dark vision? Like being able to see in the dark? They do not. So they have torches. So boom, 30 feet, they see them. Ooh, and a fancy little glyphy on the floor. Gotta say, the map's pretty cool looking. So right now they only see the one dude. What we do is we go like this. We go, bye-bye. And you're like, Sven, they disappeared. That's right. Don't worry about it, because what we do is we just open up the encounter again. If I can get to the right page, here we go. What happens when you have 400 different windows open? Boom. So here they are, and then you just boom, and this adds them to the combat tracker. There you go. We will expose them. Boom. And then we click menu and we say, hey dude, roll for the PCs. All right, so we both got 16. So time for some combat. See, you thought that was a Mission Impossible theme song, but it wasn't. It was very close, but it wasn't. Copyright and all that stuff. All right, so here we go. Torador's first. All right, Torador, what's your problem here, folks? There we go. All right, so he is going to sling. Da, 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 da. If you guys watched my last Svenzone Solo 1, you know Torador He's pretty darn good with his little slingy sling. He uses a staff sling, so it's a sling on the end of a stick, which makes it go even faster and farther and hit harder. All those wonderful adjectives about that can be used with a sling. So he's going to whoosh, slingy at him. Boom, 18 on the dice is a 24 to hit. Bing, bang, boom. I'm wrong one. Throw it in the trash. Also wrong one. Here we go. Into the main's face hole, and we have 6 damage. All right. So he's done. He's not going to move. So he's got 10, 20, 35 feet away while he'll move up. Actually, he's just going to stay right where he is. He's happy. All right, so Fione is the paladin. So he has a charge thing that he can do if he moves at least 20 feet. But he's sadly too far away. So most critters move 30 feet. So he is also going to stay where he is, throw his javelin. The javelin has a range, if you click on it, of 30 feet. So he is outside his range. You know what? He's not going to take it. He's just going to stand there and throw his javelin at disadvantage. There you go. Oof. So because it was a disadvantage, he got a 1. And despite him having a +4, 5 is not enough for him to hit. All right, so now it's the conniving gate. Man, that gate is so conniving. The way he walks. And he has a speed of 20 feet. 5, 10. Here, I'll do it the right way. So 20 feet puts him there. Let's see. Does he have any kind of range things? He has claws. So that would be a no. Yoink. 20 more feet gets him right up in Fione's face. So Fione won't be able to use his charge, but the critter won't be able to attack. So Brawny, now this is Brawny Demon Boy, not to be confused with the roll of toilet paper. He might be wearing a lumberjack shirt. Can't really tell because with this token, we don't know. He's just going to move all the way up. 35. Whoosh. There you go. And that is the end of their turns. So now we're going back to Tordor. Now, those of you who know me know I like having initiatives rolled every round because Fantasy Ground does that. And it's awesome and it's cool and I like it. But for this solo thing, I'm keeping it like where it's the same every round. It's boring, but it's more what people expect. So I am caving to the masses, the desires of the masses. So Torador goes again. This thing is right in his face. So he has a choice here. He could use a sling, but then he'd be at disadvantage. Instead, he's going to use the staff part of his sling, draw out his short sword, which is in his offhand, and he's going to attack. So he's using his sling. He's not actually attacking. So let's switch this to melee. Whoopsh. He's going to attack this one. 18, yes. So 18 is enough to hit. He then goes schmackety schmackety. 4 points of damage. Boom, that is enough to knock him out. He is now dead. Torador then gets another attack. He's going to do an offhand attack with his short sword. So there is no minus to attack, but there is a minus to his. Ooh, look at that. He got a crit. He got a crit. So that's awesome sauce. Now, normally, if we go switch it to the offhand like this, so we can have the main hand, primary hand, the two-handed weapons, or offhand. Normally it would adjust here. For whatever reason, it's not. So he's not going to get the dex damage. He is going to get nothing. This is all his classes. So I'm fixing this real quick like. There we go. So he just does 1d6 because it's his offhand. If you're using two weapons and you don't have any special feats or anything, you just do normal damage. So he stabs this one because he got a crit. He does 5 damage, and guess what? That's how many hit points he had, so he's dead. He's a dead main. Nobody liked his gait anyway because it was too conniving. Alright, so now we reset the initiative. 2 dead mains, both of them killed by Torador. Fion, the great paladin, didn't do jack that time. Minimize. So this time, we're going to move it up to where we can see it like we should have in the first place. Alright, so now let's move on. There we go. This is where we were. 2 mains. No reward. Very sad. But at least we know we can rest easy tonight knowing there are 2 less mains in the prime material plane. So we get to take 2 actions each. Nobody's hurt. So let's see what's going to happen. We're going to look ahead a little bit and decide what we're going to look at, what's going to be happening to decide what we're going to be doing. If you have reached the dungeon catacombs location, go to the catacombs combat sheet. If you have not reached the dungeon catacombs location, you may not take a long rest for the remainder of this quest. Okay. So we're going to be going into a fight. So I don't know that getting hero points is going to matter. Taking a rest isn't going to matter. So for the sake of argument, if you want to know what all these different things do, you just click here on the link and it spells it out in detail. We don't have enough money to buy a sidekick right now. When we get back to town and can turn in those gems, we could buy a sidekick. We don't need to rest. So what we're just going to do is we're just going to search. We already learned yesterday that Fion is the searcher. And actually no, Fion is the information gatherer and Torador is the searcher. So Fion is going to use his intimidation skills against these dead mains and grab one just as it's dying and tell me what I need to know. Do it now. Let's see. Boom. 17. So its DC is 13 plus the current threat, which happens to be 3. So guess what? 16 is what the difficulty level is, and he got a 17. So just enough. We then get a quest point. Oomp, 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 oomp. So expose the quest point. Expose it now. There it is. Boom. The QP. All right. That's right. Those us in the know. That's what we call it. The QP. And now we're going to do a little bit of searching. And he says a single character can make a wisdom, perception, or intelligence. So if you look at Torador skills, he's all about that perception. Not so much the investigation is +1, but perception is +5. So boom. And he gets an 18. Oof. Also a DC of 16. First time he has made it. We are not in a wilderness location, so we do not have to deduct 2 from the search results table. So we roll. Boom. 9 is nothing found. Wow, after all that work, he still finds nothing. Well, at least he killed the main, so I guess he's not totally useless. All right, so here we go. Actually, I do want to make sure we note which one this is. This is Sven take 1. All right, so it says if you have reached the dungeon catacombs location, go to the catacombs combat sheet. So we go to the catacombs combat sheet. Here we are. I don't think we'll need this, but we're just going to minimize it just in case, because we don't know what's going to happen. Could be anything at all. This is our generation thing, so we'll kill you. We don't need you anymore. I don't need you anymore. All right, combat notes. So first of all, we have the image of a dretch. Oh, isn't that a lovely creature? I've heard some people's spouses look like that in the morning when they wake up. Maybe if I just give it some coffee, it'll be all nice and wonderful again. So here is the dude, the dretch. So it says, choose a place near the bottom of the Dungeon Catacombs battle map to spawn your characters. All right. So we go to our minimized map. We've already come here. This is almost the same thing. So it says toward the bottom. To make sure we didn't forget anything else. Healing spells. Yep, deduct 1d4 from any healing potion used. And pillars and sarcophagi grant half cover. Half cover, okay? So we're going to go ahead and put our dudes. Look at that. Pretty cool little sarcophagi. So it says toward the bottom. So we're going to put them cruising on down the road. Do. Here we go. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so I've chosen a place. Then roll a d20 and spawn the 2 dretch that many squares from your party, following the bend of the passageway. Okay, so roll a d20, it says. Whoopsh. Let's see, we are 8 squares away. So we have 2 dretchies. So we go 1 and 2. All right. So we are 8 squares away. We zoom in just a smidge so we can see what in the world is going on. So these are 2, 4, 6, 8 right here. Boom. We will expose them. Two, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? Not you. Okay, boom. There we are. They are 8 squares away. Following the bends of the passageway, roll initiative. So we click the menu, we go to initiative, we go roll PC initiatives. Boom. A 6 and a 2 is what the dretch rolled. So shockingly, we go first. Following the bends. Okay, if you have the code word Fleetfoot, which we don't, maybe I missed it, but I don't know. You have advantage on the contested dex check to determine surprise. If you have the code word Scorn, roll a d20. and then Catacombs Combat Code Word. Catacombs Combat Code Word. I don't have either one. Did I miss a code word somewhere? I don't remember seeing a code word anywhere. So we're going to check it real quick and to see if I missed anything. Here it is. If you're advancing to the Catacombs location, this hero phase, which we did, take the code word Fleetfoot. Okay. So we did. We went, the first time we got to threat level 3, we advanced to the Catacombs. So we have Fleetfoot. So that answers that question. So here's the encounter, which has the 2 dredges. We already did that. So boom. Alright, so the dredge communicate with each other telepathically, and so will look for weak points in their opponents, conveying these immediately to each other. If a PC misses an attack on a dredge, have the dredge make a perception check equal to the target's strength or dex, whichever they use to make the attack. If the dredge's check is successful, both dredge have advantage on their next attack. That's pretty cool, gotta say. And then the dredge move towards the PCs as quickly as possible, pursuing them through the passages of the catacombs. If they get within 10 feet of the party, they immediately use their fetid cloud feature, targeting as many critters as possible. However, a dredge will not waste its fetid cloud if an ally has already activated it to target the same PC. If it can encompass a different PC, it will activate it. Alright, so if you're victorious, go to entry 9. What if we're not victorious? Then you're dead. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, you're dead. So, here we are. Round 1. Torador. Could this be the last fight? Could this be the end? Are we there? Are we almost finished? Could be. We don't know. We'll see. So, let's see. Torador. You want to know what he's going to do? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you? He's going to use his sling. That's what he's going to do. That's what he does. He's a slinger person. Alright, so boom. We put the sling back into his ranged attack so he can get his bonuses again. And he's just going to do the dude right in front of him. Whoosh. So whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Whirls it around its head. Faster, faster. Whoosh. Slings out and it hits the dretch. The dirty ears dretch. Very apropos for the picture. Pretty cool. Alright, so he hits it. Well, bam. Ooh, look at that. Max. Wow, what a hit. That's your new personal best. 10 damage. Bum, bum, bum. He even got a crit last fight, and it still wasn't better than this hit. So, everybody's impressed. Crowd goes wild. Fion goes next. Alright, so he is also going to throw his... Wrong one. Clickety. Alright, I don't know why he doesn't like him. But, okay. Oh, what just happened? Fion, where'd you go? What happened to you, dude? Alright, so Fion is going to attack him. He's 35 feet away, so this time he's going to move up. These things look a lot faster than the other dude, so he's going to step up, get within first range so he's not at disadvantage like he was last time, like a loser. And he's going to attack. He was 35 feet away, so if he was here, so if he goes 10, 20, 30, he can do it. He can do it. So he was here, so he can charge his full speed. All right. So why is he charging his full speed, you ask? Because he is a hippo man. And a hippodon has a Hippoton charge. If you want to know the specifics, if he moves at least 20 feet, he did, and it ends with 5 feet of a creature as large or smaller, you say, wait a minute, it says a straight line. You went zigzaggy. Yeah, well, you can make a straight line between point A and point B. So calm down, all right? That creature must make a strength saving throw. The DC for which is 8 plus his proficiency bonus plus his strength mod. So I have that already. DC 12. Let's make sure that's right. His strength mod is 2. So 8 plus 2 is 10, plus his proficiency is 12. So that's perfect. So first of all, there we go. We drag that over to him. Boom, 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 boom. He failed. That is awesome. So, because he failed, he takes bludgeoning damage and is knocked prone. So first of all, knock him prone. Boof. Second of all, do the damage. Boof. Wow, what a hit. That's your new personal best. Again, 10. Boy, they're just doing their personal best against this fight. The Dretch is now dead because he's so runs down the hall. Dust falling from the ceiling and from these sarcophagi that are shaking and rattling next to him as he moves. Bam! Headbutts this ugly little critter and slams it as it goes sliding back down the hall in a pile of goo. And he wipes the blood off his forehead. So it doesn't say any. If I'm going to presume, even though it doesn't say this, that it's an actual attack. It says once you have used this trait, you cannot do so again until you complete a short or long rest. If you move, it doesn't say it's an attack. It doesn't say it's a bonus action. Interesting. Curious. So I use this little checking mark, check, saying he's used it. Get rid of him. Boom, he's dead. So he could, in theory, throw a javelin at him, but I'm going to rule as GM and DM that, and special friend, that counts as his action because it's pretty powerful. Yeah, he can only do it once a short rest, but still, it's pretty darn powerful. Pretty nice. All right, so Dretch Boy, guess what? He gets to spew his lovely scent. So as he sort of closes his eyes, and a lovely scent, just a fetid cloud in a 10-foot radius extends from the dretch. So, creature must succeed on DC 11 saving throw. Here we go. Ooh, this was not coded correctly. So, boom, we will go to the main page, go to his constitution. Boom, he needs 11. Come on, come on. 18 is a 21. He saves. So what happens if he fails? I mean, if he succeeds? The gas spreads around corners. The area is lightly obscured. It lasts for 1 minute or until a strong cloud disperses it. Any creature that starts its turn must make a save or be poisoned. While poisoned, they can't take action or bonus action on its turn, but not both, and can't take reactions. So it does not say that he's immune to it if he saves, which is unfortunate. I'm going to use the Stinking Cloud template, and we're going to stick it right here. It's a 10-foot radius around him. So why are you putting it there, Sven? He's nowhere near there. Because otherwise it would mess with the tokens. So now we go here, bingity bangity boom, boom, back to Fion. Oops. Shift, move Fion, move this, put him there, boom. All right. So there's our stinking cloud from the dretch. And this is once a day, and it is considered an action. So he can still move if he wants to. He saw what he did to his friend, so he's actually going to retreat just a bit. We'll move this out of the way for a moment as he goes running away around the corner. Top of the next round, Torador. So Torador is in a bit of a pickle here because he's either going to have to go through the cloud. 10. Try this again. So he comes right up to the cloud, and it says any creature that starts its turn in that area. So he gets up to the cloud. He cannot see this creature to shoot it with his slingy. So he's going to hold his breath and run right through it. There we go. He just gets on the other side. Whoopsh. So now he can see the dretch. Sadly, though, that was his actions and everything, so he cannot do anything else. Now we are back to Fion. All right, so Fion did not need to save before. So he's here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You're saying, hey, why doesn't he use his charge again? Because he can only do it once per short rest. Pay attention. So he runs up. So it says any creature that starts its turn. So he didn't need to make the save before. So that's why I'm not rolling now, because we already rolled once. We don't need to roll again. So he runs up, catches up to him, and he has his shield, rapier, flail. Whoopsh. Lashes out. 7 is enough to hit. Awesome sauce. Boom. Smacks it a little bit, sort of pushes it along. All right, so this thing is going to flip around. He has a multi-attack, which means 2 attacks. One with the bite, one with the claws. He spins around, bites at the hippo guy. 16. 18 on the total is enough to hit. Boom. 4 damage. And guess what? That's this creature's personal best. Good for you. Way to excel at life. And now he's going to hit 13. Slides, claws scrape against the shield as this thing bites his leg, and he moves the shield down again to protect himself against the claws. All right, so in our excitement, are we forgetting anything? They're communicating. We don't worry about that because they're already dead. So it says if a PC misses attack, they have the dredge make a step. Okay. Both dredge have advantage on the next attack. So it doesn't say they both have to be alive, but the PCs have not missed. javelin hit? Yeah, so we're good. All right. So that was Dretch Boy. So now it's Torador. He's going to move up just a bit so he's going to stay out of range if it doesn't know if he can spew again or not. So he's going to move up just a bit. I'm still going to say he's going to move over here so that he will not have -2 to try to hit it. Slingy, slingy. Whoosh, boom. 14 hits him. Is this going to be enough to finish him off, folks? Dun, dun, dun. 8 more damage to it. It is still alive. All right, so it's up to Fion. Here we go. It's all or nothing, Fion. The fate of the world is on your shoulders. And you roll a 13 for a total of 17. And that is enough to kill this creature because he has 1 hit point left. And he's dead. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so Fion gets bit, cries out, "Argh!" Brings up his shield, claws scrape against the shield. The sling bullet comes flying past, slams into the creature as it shakes but moves back, and he comes down with these 3 balls on his flail. Slam, slam, slam. And it just sort of crumbles and collapses and dies in a puddle of grossness on the floor. All right, so we did not die, so that's a good thing. In case you were asking, if you are victorious, turn to entry 9. Bam. The demons lie dead at your feet. One does, the other one's around the corner. A horrid, fetid gas begins to seep from their quickly decomposing bodies. Wasting no time, you get out of there. Go to the quest sheet. If you have fulfilled the victory conditions, progress to the indicated entry. Ooh, have we finished? Have we done? Fulfilled the necessary? Yeah. I know you guys are all sad. Take one last look because I'm getting rid of this. I'm going to minimize this guy. Bye, Dretch. Bye-bye. All right, so victory. If you are in the dungeon catacombs, which we are, and finish the threat phase with all enemies defeated, which we did. This is the threat phase. We went here. So we are victorious. Doing, doing, doing. Crest reward. Advance characters to level 2 and read entry 33 right here. All right, so we'll do that. I'll go bring him up to level 2 in just a moment. But first, what's gonna happen? The catacombs are cleared and the demons are defeated. However, exploring the catacombs further, you make a disturbing discovery. Fion come around the corner as Fion is going to the bathroom. Torador is definitely disturbed for the rest of his life. It's a vision you cannot unsee. However, within a large chamber, you discover the corpses of half a dozen orcs and hobgoblins. Were these parts of Krond Viker's fleeing forces? The goblinoids lie dead around the edge of a room. In the center of the room, a crudely drawn symbol surrounded by infernal runes is burnt with scorch marks, as if an explosion originated from that point. Some sort of fiendish ritual? It looks like these orcs didn't understand what they were dabbling in. Alright, so you find more evidence. A page, torn from a book, depicts the symbols drawn on the floor, although the drawings on the floor are roughly done. Perhaps these orcs were looking for some fiendish assistance, but the brutes obviously didn't realize the consequences, or didn't get out of there fast enough. But one of the hobgoblins carries a note. We have precious few allies in these lands. If you can, use the ritual given us by Shardaz to summon some devils. That will keep the militia busy, so the wretched don't pursue us to our homelands. Good luck, friends. We travel north through the desert towards our hidden encampment. Grumsh willing, we shall meet again over black ale and roast warg. Until then, Tarak the Ruthless. So, those of you who don't know, Grumsh is the deity of the orcs, and wargs are these big, ugly creatures. Um, Showing this note to the head of the local militia, Sergeant Alcan. Okay, so apparently we're already back. We now left the catacombs and went back. You are informed that Tarak the Ruthless is a ruthless murderer and one of Kron's most trusted lieutenants. Responsible for numerous atrocities, Tarak has a bounty of 400 gold pieces on his head. Everyone is looking for him, Sergeant Alcan tells you, but he points to the note, and on the note is a crudely drawn 2 circles. That's a butt. That's why it's a butt joke. But he points there. This is the best lead we've gotten so far. It looks like he has fled north. Gee, could it be because he says we travel north through the desert? That's why this guy is a sergeant. Got a head on his shoulders, man. Yeah, but through the Anarak Desert, you ask? That's Torter. Fine, don't want Torter to say it? Whatever. Fine, I'll have Fion say it. Through the Anarak Desert? Well, perhaps, he says thoughtfully. Then he seems to decide something. You know what? He smacks his fist into his palm. I require 1 day to prepare my militia, and then we will pursue. We travel light. We can leave immediately. Well, perhaps we will see you on the road, but be careful. Once you have advanced your character to level 2, proceed to the next quest, Kron's Stragglers. All right, so it has been pretty much an hour. It'll take just a moment to get these guys up. So, I'm actually not gonna level him up. I'll just level up my ranger boy. We are done, so we'll put this back down. Get rid of our quest point. So next time we will go into the second phase. This one was actually pretty cool. Like the little story, how it went, and all that. The encounters, only a couple other rolls, and it could have gone totally different. So it's felt like we just walked through, but hey, I had some really good rolls. The monsters had some crappy rolls. In the very first one, we were up high, so we had a bonus, and they were farther away. So lots of different factors involved. I could easily see this being totally different had we not done so well. So, will Quest 2 be just as easy? We will find out next time. Like, subscribe so you can find out when the next one of Svenzone Solo will be. These are more impromptu when I need fillers, when I need something to post. So like and subscribe if you want to see other stuff. I have a whole bunch of stuff. Go to Svenster twitch.tv/Spencer77 to see my full regalia of all my different shows that I do. Everything from DM prep for D&D, GM prep for Starfinder, live play Starfinder, live play D&D, and Magic the Gathering Arena thrown in there for good measure. So thank you for hanging out with me. Whatever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day. Why are you still here? It's over. Go. Leave. It's done.